What if Itachi Uchiha become Jinchuuriki? Hey guys, welcome to Nothing But Anime. This is series of What if Itachi Uchiha become Jinchuuriki Part 3. If you wanted to watch previous part, check out the playlist. Here we go. The next day, all the genin teams met each other the next day at Training Ground 3. Everybody's stomachs were growling apart from Naruto, Ino, Sasuke, and Hinata. They received looks of hate from their teammates and looked back sheepishly. Thankfully, their Jonin senseis arrived together and broke their gaze away from them, but suddenly the Jonin senseis were glaring at the four, and it didn't help that Itachi had his Sharingan activated, which made it all the more scary. "Oi, you four! Why did you eat breakfast after we told you not to?" Asuma said in an angry tone. "Simple, Asuma-sensei, you suggested it. In the academy we were taught to always have breakfast unless it was inevitable." The Jonin's glares then softened and each had their own grin on their face. "Well done, Naruto, Ino, Sasuke, and Hinata. You are correct," said Asuma. "It is true, we only suggested it," said Itachi. "After all, breakfast is the most important meal of the day." "Okay, then on to the next part," said Nawaki, deciding to wrap it up. "Indeed, the next part is simple. Here I have only 6 bells. You lot are to try and obtain a bell from me. However, the 3 unable to obtain a bell will be sent home, never to become shinobi again," Itachi said, shouting the last part. "However, don't think it will be that easy. Asuma-sensei and Nawaki-sensei will be protecting me to the best of their abilities. And not to mention I will be protecting myself also." "What? That's absurd. You're an ex-member of ANBU. And Asuma-sensei is from the Sarutobi clan and was one of the 12 guardian ninja," shouted Sasuke, shocking the rest of the genin. "And Nawaki-sensei is from the Senju clan, grandson of the Shodame Hokage and younger brother of the legendary Sannin Tsunade," said Naruto, adding in his knowledge. All of them had a similar thought on their mind and a look of horror on their face. "This will be impossible to do. We have to fight each other for a bell. Not to mention we're up against 2 Jonins from 2 prestigious clans and an ex-ANBU from the Uchiha." Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata looked at each other and gave a nod. "Come at us with intent to kill. You have till midday to get a bell begin," said Asuma, and everyone left in a dash, to which the Jonins chuckled. "With Itachi's team. How are we going to do this?" asked Sasuke seriously. "There is obviously some kind of catch, but what?" said Naruto with confusion in his voice. "It's quite obvious when you think about it," said Hinata, stopping. Sasuke and Naruto also stopped alongside her. "What do you mean, Hinata?" asked Naruto. "There are only 6 bells, right? And there are only 9 of us. That means either a member from each team is lost, or a whole team can be lost. The amount of bells is to create diversity amongst us, so we fight against each other when actually we are supposed to be working together to achieve a bell. But if we work together, who loses? That, I'm afraid, is where we either have to fight each other or someone can volunteer. But no one will volunteer. We've all worked too hard to become shinobi, and to just give up now is unheard of," shouted Naruto angrily. "Don't worry, Naruto-san, I'm sure there is some kind of catch to that as well. Anyways, remember what Irika-sensei said about our teams?" Sasuke and Naruto tried to think back. Flashback. "You heard it right. The top 3 will be one team. This team will be considered as the main attack force, led by Itachi Uchiha. The second team will comprise of the middle scorers. This team is the tactical team, led by Asuma Sarutobi. And the third team will be the back-up squad, led by Nawaki Senju. These teams have been considered in the event that if anything happens to the village, this team will be efficient and reliable." Flashback end. "We became genin for a reason. And if we can get the help of the others, then I'm sure we can get the bells," said Hinata, persuading her teammates to join her. "Well, we can probably beat one of the Jonins as our team alone," said Sasuke. "That's true, but they are more than likely to stick together. Let's stay together and look for Shikamaru's team. We could use his brains right about now." Sasuke and Hinata agreed with Naruto and began to look for Asuma's team. Luckily, they were pretty close. Thanks to Hinata's use of the Byakugan, they found them quite easily. When they reached Asuma's team, Shikamaru had reached the same conclusion as Sasuke, Hinata, and Naruto. Agreeing, the 2 teams decided to find Kiba's team for help as well in case they needed backup. Fortunately, Shino arrived along with his teammates. Shino had planted a bug on Ino and Hinata, knowing they would travel with their teammates, and used his other bugs to locate the bugs he had planted on Ino and Hinata. Well then, looks like we all came to the same conclusion, smirked Shikamaru. Everyone grinned and nodded. Alright then, here's what we'll do. With the 3 jonins. Think they've worked it out yet? Asked Asuma, throwing away the cigarette. But they have, said Itachi, opening his eyes. Get ready, they're on their way. About time, I was getting bored, you know, said Nawaki, doing a few stretches. Asuma? 12 o'clock. Asuma nodded and went through a short set of seals. Katan. Heizukisho. Fire release. Ash pile burning. A large amount of ash was spewed out from Asuma's mouth and began to cover most of the training area in front of them. With the genins, Shikamaru-san, something is up ahead, said Hinata with her Byakugan activated. Okay then, thanks for letting me know, Hinata. We'll continue as planned, but be careful, said Shikamaru. Everyone nodded in agreement. After about 5 minutes of traveling, they reached the edge of the ash. Something's weird with this ash, said Naruto. You're right, it has chakra infused with it. What do you think, Shikamaru-san? Asked Hinata. Proceed with caution, let's go round it for now. Move out. They went round the border of the ash, with Hinata keeping an eye out for anything suspicious, whilst Kiba kept his nose and ears on alert, using his senses to his advantage. With the jonins, they clever enough to not go through it at least, said Asuma. Just move the ash with a futon jutsu, said Nawaki, putting his hands behind his head. No, just leave it for now, said Itachi. Move it when they engage us in combat. When that happens, we'll move out to a different location. Gatsuga, said Kiba, spiraling towards the jonin with Akamaru by his side. Cage main no jutsu. Shikamaru's shadow began to stretch out towards the jonins. Naruto now. Hearing Shikamaru's signal, 5 Narutos appeared out of the bushes from all sides surrounding the jonins. The jonins easily dodged Kiba's attack, but found it harder to keep up with Naruto's clone and evading Shikamaru's shadow as well. Sasuke. Katan. Gokaku no jutsu, sending a large fireball at the jonins from behind, bringing them closer to Shikamaru's extended shadow. Choji. Buben Baika no jutsu. Choji inflated his arm and tried to grab Itachi, but Itachi jumped and dodged the large arm swiping for him. But when he landed, he was put into a taijutsu fight against Hinata and Sasuke. Whenever you're ready, Ino, said Shikamaru. Ino nodded and began to focus on Nawaki. Naruto and Kiba were currently still holding off Nawaki and Asuma, so Ino had to get the timing perfect if she wanted Nawaki. Shino, try draining Asuma's and Nawaki's chakra. Shino raised his arms and a mass of insects were sent flying out at the 2 jonin. Kiba and Naruto began to retreat, seeing the horde of insects. Asuma, however, moved his cloud of ash to intercept the bugs with a simple futon jutsu, and clicked his teeth. Suddenly there was a loud explosion which surprised the genins a great deal, stopping them all in their tracks. What was that? Asked Sakura. That ash from earlier, replied Shikamaru. That could have killed us though. That's why we have to go at them with intent to kill. We can't afford to hold back, said Shikamaru, canceling his shadow jutsu. But what if we kill them? That answer is obvious, forehead. Shut up, Ino pig. Both you be quiet. Now Sakura, lay traps around the area in case they try to run off. Ino, keep focusing on Nawaki. If you get control of him, things can start to go uphill from there. Both the girls nodded and got to their assigned jobs. Hinata and Sasuke won't last long against Itachi. Naruto and Kiba are tired. Choji and I are out of chakra. Our hope left is if Ino can control Nawaki. Shintenshin no jutsu. A wolf's howl was heard and Ino's body became lifeless. Whoa, as if I got him. Ino said in thought. Okay, Shikamaru said, if I get control of Nawaki's body, I should help retrieve the bells. And with that, Ino, in Nawaki's body, dashed off. Asuma was about to follow Nawaki but was stopped by Kiba, Shino, and Choji. Thanks guys, said Naruto, passing by in a black blur. You'd better get the bells, loser. Hee, don't worry, dog breath. Okay, let's keep Asuma here for as long as we can, said Choji. Kiba and Shino nodded. Nakuden Sensha. Choji suddenly rolled into a large ball and began rolling towards Asuma. Asuma dodged it and was hit by Kiba's attack. Shino had sent a small army of bugs at Asuma just to ensure the safety of his bugs after what had happened earlier with Asuma's ash. Keep up the works, guys. If all goes to plan, we should have the bells in about 10 minutes. With Itachi. Impressive. You live up to your title quite well, Hinata, complimented Itachi. Both genins were panting heavily. Nawaki and Naruto soon appeared, except Nawaki stood alongside of Itachi with a grin on his face. Naruto helped Sasuke and Hinata, giving them each a soldier pill. Nawaki, why are you here? Said Itachi. Asuma-senpai sent me over here to help you, said Nawaki, scratching the back of his head nervously. Itachi planted the side of his foot into Nawaki's stomach, sending him flying past his team and en route to a tree. Naruto, however, caught Nawaki before he crashed into the tree. Are you alright, Ino-chan? I'm fine, Naruto-kun, it was just a kick, replied Nawaki. That's a relief. Come on, we need you mainly for Shikamaru's plan to work. Nawaki nodded and stood up and walked next to the members of Itachi's team. Let's go, guys! Shouted Naruto, making clones surrounding the area. Sasuke just grinned and got into his stance. Hinata smiled also and activated her Byakugan, dropping low. You're within the field of my divination. It's time to get serious then, I guess, thought Itachi. Itachi blinked and opened his eyes to show them his Sharingan. I'll let you know, you have no hopes of defeating me. We won't know until we try, said Nawaki. Naruto commanded his clones to charge in, but Itachi just sighed and disappeared. Everyone was looking around trying to locate him, but no one could. Poof, all the clones suddenly dispelled. Be careful, guys. Itachi-sensei's fast, said Naruto. Everyone moved close to each other, back to back, forming a circle. Now where should I strike you? Said Itachi, projecting his voice. And then an unusual mist began to roll in and covered the area. A large amount of killer intent mixed with chakra washed over the area, making the four breathe sharply. What is this? I feel as if I'm gonna die here, thought Naruto. This amount of chakra is massive. He wouldn't really kill us, would he? Thought Sasuke. Even in Nawaki-sensei's body, I can't tolerate this, thought Ino. I can see why he was part of ANBU. This amount of Ki he is releasing is greater than two sands, thought Hinata. Perhaps I should just kill you all now, said Itachi, appearing in the middle of the circle. Shit, when did he get behind me? They all thought and dashed away. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Four clones of Itachi formed and sped away to catch the four genin that had just ran. Crap, there's no way we can beat him by ourselves. We gotta regroup somehow, thought Naruto, close to panicking. Naruto made a clone, telling it to throw him in Sasuke's direction across. Itachi's clone didn't fail to notice this and gave chase to Naruto. Naruto's coming this way, so we can take out one of his clones at least, thought Sasuke. Sasuke, shouted Naruto. I know, Naruto. Katan. Ryuka no Jutsu, said Sasuke, breathing out fire which took the shape of a dragon and charged at the clone, following Naruto behind. The clone saw the fire dragon and tried dodging it, but was dispelled soon after Naruto delivered a chakra-infused punch to its face. Damn. It's not strong enough yet. I'll ask Bachan for some more tips after. With Itachi. So Naruto's been trained a little from Tsunade-sama. You gotta watch out for that kid, giggled Yokana. So it would seem. Hinata's pretty impressive too, to be able to do one of her clan's best techniques at a young age. Well then, this spar is gonna be fun. Speaking of which, how long is left of this spar? Not long left, about half an hour, I think. Shame. If these kids were given breakfast and a longer time limit, I reckon they would have beaten you. Really? Asked Itachi with shock in his voice. Yeah, I mean, think about it. That Nara kid is pretty strategic, and his teammates' techniques complement each other's. Hinata, Sasuke, and Naruto are a deadly force to be reckoned with. Those two kids with the dog and bugs play their role pretty well as backup. The only weak link is that Banshee. Seriously though, if she could utilize her screams, it would be effective. No, QB. I agree with everything apart from the last bit. If she were to utilize her scream, she would cause major chaos. I know, Itachi-kun, but think about it. If she utilized it, she could actually help them as a unit. We'll have this conversation later. They're coming for me. They defeated all my clones. And with that, Itachi cut off his connection from Kyuubi. Slipping into his stance, Naruto charged at Itachi with his fist leading. Pathetic, said Itachi, sidestepping the punch, and was suddenly engaged by an onslaught of various kicks and punches from Sasuke and Hinata. Naruto every now and then would throw in either a kick or punch which would connect pretty well with Itachi and often send him back a bit. Naruto suddenly dashed by Itachi in an attempt to retrieve the bells, but Itachi saw him coming and narrowly dodged him. "Kyuso, I was so close," thought Naruto, and the bell rang. Damn it! We were so close. All the genins and jonin senseis returned to the location of the bell. Itachi stopped the bell from ringing. "Alright, well, you did well and were pretty close, but unfortunately you still didn't get them," said Itachi. "But here's what we'll do. You can all have lunch apart from 3 people. Those 3 people are going to be tied up to these log posts here," said Asuma, knocking one of them, whilst Itachi laid out 6 boxes of food. "Now the 6 that do eat, you are not allowed to feed any of the 3 people. Otherwise, we're going to have to give someone else a shot at being shinobi," said Nawaki, back in his body. "Which 3 people are being tied up then?" asked Sasuke curiously. "Well, that up to you to decide," said Asuma nervously before disappearing off. Itachi followed Asuma's lead and also left. "Remember guys, don't feed the 3 tied up. Here's some rope," said Nawaki before trying to catch up with Asuma and Itachi. Sasuke caught it effortlessly and looked around before dropping it hastily. "Well, how are we supposed to decide who gets tied up?" asked Naruto. "Man, this is such a drag," said Shikamaru. "Lying on the grass, just draw straws or something." "I think Naruto should be one of the people tied up to the post," screamed Sakura, pointing at said blonde. "What? Why me?" asked Naruto, outraged at the pink-haired girl. "Because you had breakfast." "Yeah, well, I think your useless ass should be tied up to that post." "Sasuke-kun, are you gonna let him talk like that to me?" "Shut up, Sakura. I agree with Naruto, out of us here you're the weakest link. What did you do to help her?" Sakura was too scared. Everybody looked at her with hate in their eyes. "Alright, man, you can't decide? Naruto, make a clone and tell it to get 9 straws, said Shikamaru, deciding to play peacemaker. Naruto's clone came back 5 minutes later after picking a range of sizes for everyone to choose from. "Okay, we'll all take turns picking one," said Shikamaru. The clone decided to start with Sakura and went round the circle, with Choji being the last. "They're sorted. Looks like the unlucky ones are Sasuke, Ino, and Sakura." Sakura was obviously not happy with the outcome, but thought differently when she was tied up next to Sasuke. Her face began to turn into a deep red shade. "Alright, let's eat. Itadakamasu," said Kiba, diving into the food to regain some of his energy. Everyone dug into their food hungrily apart from Naruto and Hinata. "Hinata, are you thinking it too?" asked Naruto quietly. Hinata nodded and just stared at the box in her lap. "It doesn't feel right," replied Hinata. Naruto nodded as well, fully understanding what she meant. Suddenly, he opened his box and raised it to Ino's face. "Here, Ino-chan, you eat instead." Everyone was shocked to see Naruto offering his food to Ino. "Oi, Naruto, what are you doing? We'll get sent back to the academy with Irika-sensei," said Kiba, shuddering at the last words. "I don't care. Think about it. Do you feel right eating in front of our friends? Do you honestly think we can still do this? We need Ino the most right now. Once she takes over Nawaki or Asuma's body, she's our best hope. But how is she supposed to do that if she had no energy?" "Well, that's very kind and all, Naruto, but as you can see, I'm kinda tied up," said Ino, laughing nervously. "Oh yeah, I'll feed you, don't worry," Naruto said with a little laugh. "Sasuke-san, you can have some of mine," said Hinata, also offering. "Why Hinata?" "Because we are going to need our energy if we are to go up against Itachi-sensei." Sasuke couldn't help but agree with her and reluctantly took her up on the offer. Just as Naruto and Hinata were about to feed Ino and Sasuke, Itachi appeared with his Sharingan spinning furiously. "Why are you feeding them?" shouted Itachi angrily. Everyone were suddenly on their guard, looking out for Nawaki and Asuma, each of them holding a kunai. "Naruto, Hinata, free Sasuke and Ino," shouted Shikamaru, his brain now working overtime to come up with a strategy. Mama, calm down, said Nawaki, walking in trying to ease the situation. Asuma followed behind him, clapping his hands. Congratulations! You guys passed the test, said Asuma, smiling at the genin. What? Asked Naruto incredulously. You passed the test, said Itachi in an irregular happy tone. Though granted you didn't get a bell, you still showed teamwork, said Nawaki, giving them a thumbs up. So it was all a test? Man, what a troublesome day, said Shikamaru, falling to the ground. What a relief, shouted Naruto, following Shikamaru's lead. Okay, that's enough for today. My team meet up here tomorrow at 9 sharp. We'll begin some missions, said Itachi, walking off. My team will meet up at the mission hall, get you thrown into some missions straight away, said Asuma, taking a puff of his cigarette and leaving in a shunshin. My team will meet outside the academy. Have breakfast this time, yeah? You're gonna need it, said Nawaki, leaving through the trees. Deciding to end the day's activities, all the genins walked back home. Needless to say, Sasuke had to return, Hinata, and Naruto walked Ino home. Inoichi showed no mercy in teasing Naruto when he had arrived. When each of them arrived, they all collapsed onto their beds. Hokage office. Knock knock. Come in. Minato shouted, looking up from his paperwork, delighted to get a small break. Itachi, Asuma, and Nawaki all walked into the room and bowed before greeting the Hokage. How did it go then? They passed, Hokage-sama, replied Itachi. That's good to hear. I want a written detailed report on how each member performed. The good and the bad. Hi, Hokage-sama, replied the 3 jonins. All right. As you know, the village no longer have D-ranked missions because they are only C-ranked or above. Our shinobi have to be put through more training. I entrust that you 3 will train them and prepare them for the upcoming Chunin exams in 2 months' time. Dismissed. All 3 jonins bowed and left in a shunshin. Yash, let's get this paperwork done and then some lunch, said Minato with a new determination burning. With Itachi. Knock knock. Hello, Itachi-kun, what can I help you with? Said Kushina with a bright smile. Hello, Kushina-san. I'd like to talk with Naruto-kun, please. Kushina nodded in reply and called Naruto to come down. He walked down, tiredly rubbing his eyes. What's up, Itachi-sensei? He asked with a yawn. Itachi flashed a grin. Naruto, he said, you up for a prank? Naruto was instantly revitalized. What you got in mind, Itachi-sensei? He said with a dark look on his face. Me and you. We're gonna blow this village away, said Itachi excitedly. I'm not the best prankster in the village for nothing, Databeo, he said, pointing a thumb towards his chest. Good. Let's go, said Itachi, taking hold of Naruto and disappearing in a shunshin. Hokage Monument. What are we doing here, sensei? Naruto-kun, how many clones can you make? Let's see, about 10. Okay, wait for a minute. Yokana-chan, mind telling me your plan for the prank? Of course, Itachi-kun. Here's what you're gonna do. Itachi had a massive grin on his face after Kyuubi had told Itachi her plan. He could already imagine the look and pain on some of the villagers' faces. Granted, he could be put into a little trouble, but if it got a laugh from everybody, he didn't mind the little telling off. It would only be a moment till Kyuubi's awesome plan was put into action. It was going to be the talk of the village for weeks. Itachi was sure of it. A little later, the whole village was in laughter. A horde of Narutos could be seen on the Hokage monument, drawing a large copy of the Ika series with each Hokage's face reacting differently. Everyone was gathered outside onto streets. Below the Hokage monument, several clones of Itachi bursted from the rooftops, running through everyone to appear at the rear end of the crowd, crouched down. What did Itachi just do? Asked a villager. Itachi stood up and faced them. Naruto now stood beside Itachi with his clones, finishing off the small detail of his masterpiece. Both were laughing furiously. The villagers were unsure what they were laughing at until all the villagers' clothes fell down to the ground. The children were left alone, thanks, which was greatly appreciated by some of the parents. The villagers immediately covered themselves as best as they could with their arms. But unfortunately, within the crowd there were a few lecherous men unable to control themselves. It was a time of embarrassment and humiliation for many of the villagers. Naruto's clones rushed down from the monument, pouring chakra into their legs, increasing their speeds. grabbing as many items of clothing they could. Itachi helped out also with a couple of clones. Within minutes, the duo had collected all the villagers' clothes and had sealed them into a scroll. "If you want your clothes back, you're gonna have to chase us." "Databeo," said Naruto, sticking his tongue out at them. "Oh man, this is classic. Who would have thought Itachi-sensei would come up with a plan like this?" He looked around to see where Itachi had gone in order to follow him, but could not see him. "Oh shit, where's he gone?" Naruto ran through the streets sending chakra to his feet, but was quickly losing his strength. The villagers got angrier by the minute, throwing anything they could find on the streets in order to get their clothes back. Naruto thought desperately at anything to prevent the crowd from attacking him. "I got it!" Abruptly stopping, Naruto turned around with his hand raised, commanding the villagers to stop. "Go on, throw stuff at me. I dare you. Everyone grab what you can find and throw it at him," said a villager. "Yeah, we want our clothes back. Are you really going to hit the Hokage's son?" Naruto asked with a smirk. All the villagers stopped in their tracks and thought about it. How are we supposed to get our clothes back without hurting Naruto? "I don't care about that. I want my clothes back," said an angry man, causing a stir amongst the other villagers. The man edged towards the front, clenching his fist. "That's enough. Everyone return to your homes," said an ANBU. The villagers were reluctant to return home naked but accepted nonetheless. The ANBU grabbed Naruto and left the scene. With Itachi. Itachi was in a forest leaning on a tree bursting with laughter. "Oh, Yokana-chan, that was awesome. Did you see how red those guys with boners got?" asked Itachi, rolling on the grass, wiping a teardrop from the corner of his eye. "You love me, don't you?" asked a tall redhead wearing a short black and red kimono, just reaching to her knees, hugging her figure, accentuating every curve on her body. Her legs were long and slender. Her arms were the same as her legs, both body parts enticing to the human eye. Her most notable asset, however, was her breasts. A large amount of cleavage could be seen, especially from Itachi's current position, seeing as she was bending over. "Ever need another prank, Itachi-kun? You know who to ask," said Yokana, giving Itachi a sexy wink. "Come here," said Itachi, patting a spot between his legs. The girl obeyed and leaned onto Itachi's body. Itachi ran his hand through her hair affectionately. The girl was blushing furiously but refused to say anything. "You are the best prankster in the whole village," said Itachi slowly, watching her reaction much to his amusement. "You're also the most beautiful girl in the whole village too. I couldn't ask for anyone better." Placing a tender kiss onto the girl's cheek. The girl was shocked at his action that she jumped up and instantly disappeared in a puff of smoke. "Yokana-chan, why'd you run off like that?" asked Itachi, a little sad that she had just left him. Kyubi didn't respond, and instantly Itachi was worried. "Ichiraku ramen. Thanks, Yugao-chan, you saved me there," said Naruto, relieved to have put a considerable amount of distance between him and the villagers. "It's all right, Naruto-kun," said Yugao, taking her ANBU mask off. "Care to tell me what you did this time?" "He no can do, Yugao-chan," said Naruto, graciously eating the heavenly food that was ramen. "And why not?" asked Yugao with mock hurt in her voice. "Because it's a secret," winked Naruto. "Very well, but mind giving me the scroll?" "Nope, no can do either, Yugao-chan. I better keep it and give it to Itachi-sensei." Alright then, Naruto, I trust you," smiled Yugao. "I'll be asking later, so Yep, don't worry. Bye, Yugao-chan," said Naruto, finishing off his ramen. "Thanks for the food, Ayane-san. Tell Tsuchiyaji-san to get well soon for me." "Okay. Time to find Itachi-sensei," thought Naruto. "Ah man, this is going to take forever. Looking for me, Naruto-kun? Whoa, where did you come from, Itachi-sensei?" "From the woods," turning his impassive face into one with a smile. "So, how was my prank?" "You are awesome, Itachi-sensei. That's good to hear. Now you know who the best prankster in the village is." "No way. I'm still the best. You got a long way to go if you want to be a better prankster than me, Itachi-sensei," said Naruto, pointing a thumb at his chest. "Is that so?" asked Itachi, raising an eyebrow. Suddenly, an ANBU appeared, bowing to Itachi before handing him a scroll. "What's that, Itachi-sensei?" Orders from the Hokage, he said in a serious tone. Oh, what does Tusen want? We have a mission tomorrow, he said bluntly. Oh, cool. What are we doing? Asked an excited Naruto. It's a B rank. I don't know anything else apart from the fact that we're going to the wave country. Awesome. When do we leave? Tomorrow morning. We'll meet at the mission hall. 8 sharp, don't be late. How long should we pack for Itachi-sensei? Judging from the rank, I'd say about a month. Okay then, I'll CYA later, Itachi-sensei. Do you want me to tell Hinata? Are you going to see her? Well, not really, but I go past the compound on the way home. It's alright, I need to speak to Hayashi anyway. Remember 8 sharp. Roger that. Itachi walked up to the Hyuga compound in search for Hayashi. Upon reaching the gates, he simply asked the guards to request an audience with Hayashi for a while. One of the guards left to get Hayashi, whilst the other kept watch on Itachi. Hayashi-sama, Uchiha Itachi is here to see you. Shall we grant him passage? Hayashi, curious as to what the Itachi wanted, nodded to the guard. Hayashi-sama will see you now, Itachi-san. Itachi quietly followed the guard to Hayashi's quarters, to which Hayashi opened the door acknowledging his presence and invited Itachi in. How can I help you, Itachi-san? See now, unlike Sasuke, Itachi had never had any quarrels with any of the Hyugas, and as such he was well trusted by Hayashi as he knew the kind of ninja Itachi was. Itachi was loyal. He would put the village's safety above the clan's well-being. Hayashi respected him for that, as he often wondered whether he would be able to put the village's safety above the clan's. I'm here to inform you of a mission that involves your daughter. Very well. What are the details of the mission? C rank. Guarding a bridge builder to wave country. Roughly a month. We leave tomorrow morning at 8. If we are fortunate, the most we will encounter will be bandits. That should give the team a bit of experience. Very well. My daughter is in your hands, Itachi-san. Of course, Hayashi-sama. Thank you for your time. Not at all. Thank you for informing me. I will pass the message along to my daughter for you. That's most kind of you. Would you like to stay for some tea? It has been a while since we last met. Unfortunately, I must be on my way. As a Jonin sensei, I must prepare for tomorrow's mission. Ah, of course. Very well. Allow me to walk you out. So the two men walked out talking about their clan's current status and well-being. I'll pass on the mission details to Hinata for you. All in all, I wish you the best of luck. May the will of fire be with you. Itachi gave a small nod as a sign of thanks and appreciation and made his way home. When he arrived, he called for Sasuke and explained to him of the upcoming mission, to which Sasuke complied and began to pack his equipment. Next day, with Itachi. You know you're going to be late, Itachi-kun, if we stay like this, Itachi-kun. It's fine, we won't be able to be together like this for a while until I finish the mission. Don't worry, you can still visit me in your mindscape, purred Yokana as Itachi played with her hair. Besides, there's something we need to address. Your eyesight. They're slowly beginning to deteriorate. I've slowed down the process, but I can't prevent it. You've awakened it since the day your father died. But you've only ever used it twice, and both situations I don't blame you. Why are we talking about this now? I'm worried for you, Itachi. In this mission to wave, you're bound to encounter some strong ninjas, and you have a genin team to protect as well. I have you with me, so don't worry about it, smiled Itachi. Worst case scenario. Gato will have hired some missing nins. Having heard the name Gato, Yokana's interest suddenly perked up. What makes you so sure Gato will be involved? Well, news of Gato's invasion in Wave came out over a month ago, and with Kiri still in their civil war, the people of Wave can't exactly march in requesting some ninja for protection. So by my analysis, Waves has been on an economical decline ever since Gato took over their harbors. Therefore, this mission will be more than a simple escort and protect. You might be right. Regardless, you're late. You better get going, said Yokana, leaning her cheek forward. Itachi, knowing her by now, leaned forward also and gave her a quick kiss. Yokana, dispelling herself, returned to Itachi's stomach as Itachi headed for the Eastern Gates to meet up with his team. Eastern Gates. Geez, Sasuke, your brother's almost as bad as Kakashi Nizan. Who? Vice captain of your brother's ANBU team. Oh, Thinking back to the few times he had met the wolf-masked ninja, why does he have a tendency to be late as well? Are you kidding me? Kakashi Nizan is always the last to turn up. God knows what he does, but when I was training with him when I was a kid, he always showed up an hour later at least. And he gave out the most ridiculous excuses I have ever heard. Henging into Kakashi with his ANBU armor and mask. Sorry I'm late Naruto, I got lost on memory lane. Ugh, honestly, I love him and all but his lack of punctuality is frustrating. There's a running bet amongst the older ninja population that he'd be late to his own funeral. This got a little chuckle out of Sasuke and Hinata as they both couldn't imagine such a ninja existed. Maybe he has his reasons for being late? Is he normally like this Sasuke-san? Asked Hinata. No, he's normally early if anything. Oh wait, there he is. As Sasuke spotted him running on the rooftops towards them. Sorry I'm late. I was making some last-minute pickups for equipment. So are we all good and ready to go? Tazuna-san? Yes. I've arranged transport for us to travel to Wave near the border of the country. Very well, lead the way. As we go, I want Naruto and Sasuke to be up front by Tazuna-san's side. Hinata, you will follow from behind and I want you all to keep an eye out. If we encounter any danger, I expect you to handle yourself accordingly. This is a B rank, remember. The chances of coming across ninjas from other villages is 50-50, but I want you all to be alert. Understood. Ordered Itachi with a strict tone of authority which came to him naturally after being ANBU captain for a few years. Yes, sensei. Saluted the three ninjas. Tazuna, having seen the team so organized, felt a lot safer and relaxed knowing he had good protection. As the five of them began their journey to the borders, Itachi sent clones up ahead in order to scout the areas ahead. Whilst the team appeared to be relaxed and walking calmly, in truth the genin were all very tense. Who can blame them? Their very first mission and they were being sent off on a B rank. The two boys made small talk with Tazuna, inquiring little bits of information about what he had requested in the mission, what was Wave like and many other small things just to make him feel a little more comfortable. It was the first time any of the genin had stepped foot outside of the village, as well, so they were all very attentive with the scenery and the route they were taking. Hinata listened into the conversation, throwing in her own questions whenever there was an opportunity, and was hooked into what the man had to say herself. Itachi, however, read the man's body language. The man had a sense of fear when he talked. The way his body nervously shifted when his hometown was mentioned, just little movements in his head and fingers, was enough to tell Itachi that he could be right about Gato. The team had been walking for a good 2 hours and were only an hour away from his friend according to Tazuna, when a thick mist started to roll in. Itachi-sensei, this isn't any ordinary mist, said Hinata, putting the two boys on high alert for whatever could happen next. I know, Hinata. Naruto, Sasuke walk ahead of Tazuna slightly, will continue as normal. Proceed with caution. The two boys nodded in understanding and began walking a few steps ahead of Tazuna. 5 minutes into the deep mist and the team heard a chuckle. Itachi was all too familiar with the chuckle and told his team to protect Tazuna. Kukuku, well Itachi-kun. What do we have here? Orochimaru. Show yourself, exclaimed Itachi, fearing for his genin's lives. Now where would the fun in that be, Itachi-san? Replied Kisame, revealing himself within the mist. Shit, thought Itachi, there's no way I can handle both of these guys. What do I do? What do I do? Itachi-kun, calm down, reassured Yokana. First, whilst your team are here, I can't come out and help you. Get away from here, all of you. Sasuke, carry Tazuna and make a run for it. Head to Tazuna's place and I'll meet up with you shortly. Hinata, you're in charge. Boys, follow her orders. Whatever she says goes, said Itachi in a panicked tone. Sasuke, telling Tazuna to get on his back, quickly left with Hinata following. But Itachi-sensei, we can't leave you against Orochimaru, argued Naruto, trying to stand his ground. Now is not the time, Naruto. Leave, screamed Itachi, releasing his killer intent to make the young blonde realize the situation. Albeit reluctantly, Naruto left to catch up with his teammates. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, and out of nowhere appeared a fiery red head. Well, what do we have here, Orochimaru-san? Grinned Kisame. It appears things just got more interesting, Kisame-kun, chuckled Orochimaru. What are you here for, Orochimaru? asked Itachi, trying to return to his stoic demeanor. Quite simply, we want her. Glaring at Yokana. Sorry, Snakey. I don't do pedophiles. Smiled Yokana, I don't do sushi either. But I bet you'd make a good shark fin soup though. Enough of the games, said Kisame, suddenly charging at Itachi in a burst of speed. However, Yokana appeared in front of him and, here we done guys. The series of What If Itachi Uchiha Become Jinchuuriki, this is the final part. Do support to the author and hit like. Subscribe to the channel. I will be back soon with another series. Thank you.